so I am back. If you joined for the first live, you will have been there for the slightly chaotic ending. If you did not join for the first live, I feel like this could only really happen to me. I attempted my first YouTube live. I was happily in the middle of brushing my milk bread with an egg wash, and then all chaos broke loose on my baby monitor. One of my children woke up, then they woke the other child up, and then both children needed the toilet. But here we are, I'm back for part 2 as promised, and by some miracle, my things that were in the oven survived my slight unexpected change of schedule, and I can show you what they look like in just a moment. But I am very much aware that I could be interrupted once more, so I need to get my milk bread into the oven so that this has a good chance of cooking. Hopefully it makes it to the end of its cooking time without a child waking up. Now, my husband knows a lot more about YouTube and YouTube setup than I do, and turned on lots of settings when the first live went out, which I have no idea what buttons he pressed. So I'm hoping that I did it the right way for this. But you know what? I feel like there's been enough hiccups along the way that I don't want to speak too soon, but surely nothing else could go wrong. So I'm going to put this milk bread in the oven, and it will cook for about 20 to 25 minutes. But whilst it's cooking, I will show you how the other bakes have turned out. So the first bake that came out of the oven is my sheet pancake. So if I bring that over, you can see I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. And I like to try and just slice it up into slices when it's still warm, and then once it's cooled, I'll peel it off the greaseproof paper and then pop it into the freezer. And it's got a lovely golden colour, which is perfect because it just means that when you want to eat this on the morning, it's simply just a case of reheating. Now, I have microwaved this before. I like to cook it in the air fryer. I definitely wouldn't put it in a toaster. Unless you've done a really plain one, this would destroy my toaster if I popped it in. So if I just peel a bit off whilst it's still warm, you can see it's got a nice golden colour underneath. It's completely cooked through. And it's just the perfect portion size for little people at breakfast. So I'm really pleased with how that's come out. I'm just going to check one thing on here. Yeah. So as I said before, I'm still very much getting used to YouTube and how to manage all of the settings and everything that you need to know. And I do really appreciate the support that I have of the people who watch my channel. So the next thing that came out were these chocolate mini muffins. And I quite like these because they have quite a fudgy texture. Now, I'm actually going to leave these in this tray a little bit longer so they can cool down a bit before I pop them out. And because I've used white chocolate chips, they've caramelized slightly, which is really lovely. The chia jam is in the fridge, and all that's left to do now is wait for my milk bread to cook. And when that comes out, it will be a lovely golden colour. So I wanted to say just a big thank you again to everybody that joined my first live. Hopefully you followed up to see how I survived the baby monitor going off. And if you have any suggestions for what else you'd like to see featured on my lives in future, please do let me know, as maybe next time I'll make sure it's on a night where my husband is on call and can have the baby monitor. But this was a great first experiment. So thank you for your support. Thank you to everybody who joined me. And yeah, please pray for my milk bread. Let's hope that monitor doesn't go off whilst that thing is still cooking. Thank you.